So hey guys, this is Jez Perez. He's a business analyst and he works at the New South Wales Health. So what is your role in the company?
My role is I'm a business analyst for New South Wales Health, and with New South Wales Health we work alongside with stakeholders with the entire local health district. And there are about 15 to 20 hospitals around New South Wales. So I'm a business analyst for a department called IT Service Management. Yes. And the role that we normally do is we develop and maintain and we continually improve actionable, which is a service type called Service Catalog. And Service Catalog is a web portal that you go into that gives out requests. So if you're looking for hardware or you're looking for service desk issues or any request that goes through that web portal, and behind the scenes is what we do to connect those points together. We also provide, my role is documentations, and what we do is we put a business case for any request type from all stakeholders, and we work on behalf of the local health, and we automate the current processes, and that's what business analysts do.
Interesting. So what skills are required for this role?
Okay, so really in this particular role for a business analyst, because there are different types of business analysts. You've got IT, you've got Service Catalog, but they have the foundations. And one of the foundations that is required in this particular role is tertiary qualifications, most important. And the reason why, particularly with the New South Wales government, is they want to find out candidates that actually have that knowledge of IT background. Nevertheless, they're looking for relevant technical certifications, and that's the type of skills that they're requiring. They need, skills that also required is, strong knowledge of ITIL, which is Information Technology Infrastructure Library, which is a framework that we work. So it's like a methodology or a framework that the whole entire department that we work through, and it's a step-by-step process that we work through. And through this role that I'm working is called CA platform, which is a vendor that we use, which they supply us information. We use their infrastructure, and those skills required, with service desk background, pretty much with knowledge and experience of automation tools, so everything that's automated in the system, and just previous experience of documentation. So obviously as a business analyst, there's a lot of reporting to be done. Yeah. There's a lot of testing, there's a lot of things that needs to be added into documentation, and that's what the skills are required. And pretty much you need time management, and that's really important as a business analyst, because you're involving with different stakeholders, different people, and also presentation skills. How to engage with stakeholders and how to pull up a meeting, and with a business analyst, and what skills that you need to really have is people skills. Not only that, but providing workshops, and you need to demonstrate a high level of organization skills and written and oral communication skills.
That's great. As we know, there's a lot of skills required for this role. What kind of software do you guys use?
We have an in-house software
that
we use in New South Wales Health, with different offices that have different types of softwares. But I normally use, we have our own in-house created one, but with the developers and softwares, they have different types of softwares that they use. So that's all the information I can give you at that moment. But yeah.
So now heading towards just graduates, what does your company look for towards graduates?
With graduates, obviously, New South Wales Health Department understands that some of the graduates don't have previous experience.
Yeah.
But what they do have is knowledge, and which is very important. So obviously putting that knowledge into practice. So obviously, what we look for is, tertiary background, competency to do the role. So obviously, you go through a process of doing an interview, but obviously there's a couple of tests, or there's like a panel view, and they actually interview what type of skills that you have, whether it be written, oral, or verbal communication skills, and so forth. And what we try to engage is the different personality types that a person may be. obviously some people that are into computers are, and when you're dealing with service desk, you know, you're dealing with a lot of people. So for example, if there's any computer issues or things like that, obviously you need to engage with a customer, you need to engage with a client, and you got to help their needs. So competent to do the role. Thirdly is you need to have that willingness to learn. Okay. Obviously, you're going to be learning the ropes. Obviously, there is a program, a probation program, where you go for 3 months, and obviously they show you how it's all done. They go through the entire process. So there is a system in place for new candidates, and just knowledge on IT, and if there's any previous experience, and that's what they currently.
What kind of advice would you give to graduates that are trying to apply for this role?
Yeah, well, pretty much just to get to any IT role. I mean, you want to get your hands dirty, and pretty much, it is a bonus to have qualifications or tertiary education. It does help.
Yeah.
And get into any IT role, get that experience and qualification. And nowadays, it's all about the paper. It's all about that knowledge base. And in particularly with IT, especially in our role, is that half of the people are certified, and it's important to be certified. Certification, and there are different types of skill sets that you need to get. So, for example, with us, because ITIL, which is a framework that we do or that we run by, you need to be qualified. But to have that qualification gives you an advanced step. So my advice is really find out what your role is, for each graduates. Where do you set yourself? Do you want to be a programmer? Do you want to be a tester? Do you want to be, get into service desk or operations? So there's a lot of avenues in terms of IT, and it varies from anything and everything. But just to get in and get qualified and finish your tertiary.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
So where is this career heading towards the future? I mean, will there be more demand? Will there be less demand? What's going on?
A business analyst is a very interesting role because it actually plays a vital role in terms of projects. And when I see in the future, the job role is very in demand at the moment.
Okay.
In terms, and also with project management, a lot of projects out there, and it's not going to phase out. And as a business analyst, it provides all that skill set, people skills, organization skills, technical skills, IT skills, and pretty much a business analyst can move anywhere. It doesn't mean it can be in IT, it can be in communications, it can be in, in marketing, finance, but it does have a big background on IT, and obviously IT is evolving and moving very quickly. But to have that pivotal point for a business analyst to connect all the stakeholders together, get that documentation, filter that out with testing. So it's a multi-skill set with business analysts, and it is in demand. And it is the career as a business analyst. You can go everywhere, and the pay is good as well.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So as a business analyst, what challenges do you face?
We face a lot of challenges, particularly with the business analyst role. Obviously, time management. Obviously, we need to prioritize some works, and obviously there are urgent tasks that needs to be done. So that's one of the challenges. The second part is getting stakeholders together, making sure that they have to agree in some certain things, particularly with projects, or if they don't agree, then you need to intervene and find where you can actually get that, build that bridge and get into agreement. So that's one of the challenges that I face in my role. But you always get challenges in every role that you do. But in terms of IT, that's what we currently face. In terms of stakeholders, agreements, disagreements, priority of workload. So if you'll be doing some testing, things will always change. So as a business analyst, you need to be able to be flexible. You're able to be adaptable to change, and really make sure that everything's all concise and everything's all backed up by emails. You got to make sure that you're always backed up with things that you're putting forward. So that's one of the challenges.
We know that the IT industry is very male dominant. Would you recommend this for females?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you get that stigma of in the IT world or the IT space where predominantly run by men, but you see a generation now where it's actually shifted, and I've worked with a lot of females who are business analysts. We're getting a lot of ladies or females who are getting into the software development side of things. So there's a big generation that's going out there and removing that stigma. It's a run male dominant type of stuff, but where I work, it's actually supported and encouraged for ladies to take that challenging role, because the business analyst role is very challenging. But I've worked with a lot of females who are business analysts who are good at their jobs, and they've got that charisma, and they're able to have that engagement or that connection with different stakeholders. And yeah, so in terms of a career choice for any female that's looking into a business analyst role, or even in the IT world, it's very encouraged to come and jump on board.
So this role definitely sounds interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be looking forward to it.
Cool.
Well, thank you again, Jess.
Yep, not a problem. Okay.